casket.
A ghoul. A mana.
A cadaver.
There's another one where they say like, what's this? Oh, a warlock.
Yeah. I love. That's a good video. It's just a.
It's a good video. There's a little He-Man in there, like a little bit of skeleton, like He-Man.
Yeah. So
we don't make.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we don't make villains sound ridiculous anymore. We need to bring back.
Yeah.
Hello, He-Man.
Yeah, that is strange. Villains are a lot more serious, or they're like
aura farming.
Yeah, aura farming. Yeah, a lot of villains in recent years, or popular ones, have been of the variety of like secretly doing something good, but then they blow up an orphanage, so we can't like them anymore. That's like all the Marvel villains. That's like what's his face, Killmonger from Black Panther.
And they try to do it with Thanos too, but Thanos is an idiot. Yeah. That's why I don't know if you saw the new Superman, but that's why I like Lex Luthor, who's just a hater.
Greetings and Bienvenue, listeners. On this week's episode of Cartoon Buffoons, I'm your host, Wyatt, and who is here with me today, as always?
Hello, I'm Morgan, and I've been masquerading as Long Arm Prime this entire time.
Hell yeah. You talked about before that you had the toy of Shockwave, so...
It's right here on my desk.
Hell
right here on my desk,
yes.
yeah, the transforming one.
And we are here to talk about the Secret Saturdays. Maybe a new fave of mine, maybe like one of my favorite shows that we have done so far.
I haven't had this much fun watching a show I didn't see a lot of ever on Buffoons. This was the best. This ruled. Like,
yeah, I would say the only other show that gives us a run for its money as far as show that I didn't watch a lot of, but then watched it for Buffoons and was like, whoa, this is really good. Juniper Lee. Yeah, that's the only other one.
Yeah,
so,
Juniper Lee, yeah.
Both very similar as far as like... this is a little bit more serious, but...
Yeah.
It still is the same kind of thing of like kid superpowers, etc., secret world of monsters. Though they really don't seem that concerned with like hiding cryptids
I don't know
from...
if there's a secret here. Yeah. I think there's so much going on in the show. They're like, we can't really afford to try to be secretive.
Yeah,
things are gonna blow.
Yeah.
We gotta be. We can't afford to.
Yeah, getting ahead of ourselves. But like, there's multiple episodes where they're just like walking around town with Fiskerton, or what? And it's like, if they had like Komodo with them, which is the lizard, fine. Like that's just a normal animal. It's not really a... I don't know how that counts as a cryptid, but...
Well, because Komodo can turn invisible. That's not a normal thing Komodo
sure.
dragons can do.
What's the thing like some lizards can do? Whereas, like, Fiskerton is like a giant, like, 9-foot-tall creature, so...
That's just a guy. What do you mean? That's just like their son.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're a bigot. You can't say that about their son.
But yes, Secret Saturdays... it's a show that I've really like just have not seen that many episodes of when I was a kid. I remember the premiere. Well, here I am talking about the history, and I'm going first. What the fuck is my problem? Morgan, what is your history with this show?
I remember the build-up of the premiere, like you did.
Yeah.
Because they had like a lot of fanfare around it, if I'm not mistaken. Like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I remember to feel like, okay, well, what's this? And I like called an episode as a kid, like, well, I don't care, because I was like in my Scooby-Doo hate phase,
and it's very Scooby-Doo.
Sometimes the art style here, it can give you some Scooby-Doo vibes. So I was like, oh, dude, I don't want to watch anything that's like Scooby-Doo, man. I'm not watching this shit. And I did.
Fiskerton, very Scooby-Doo-esque, like, yeah. So,
but then I remember down the line, the Omniverse crossover episode.
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember,
and I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and watch it, and I never did until now. So that's only my
there you
go.
go.
I remember the big build up.
Yeah, so you remember like there was like the commercials that were like VV Argost's Weird World,
and he had a website too.
Yeah.
Like they had this whole
like
thing
a fucking
going
ARG,
on.
Cool. Which is cool, and that makes sense. I was looking it up. Apparently, the show originally was going to be more like there was a couple different iterations of the show. And one of the like later versions of it was supposed to be like, oh, they were fighting against Argos not because he was evil necessarily, but because he was trying to expose the world to the existence of cryptids. Excuse me, sorry, I'm sick, everybody. And they were trying to like suppress that information, so they're like big, archaeology or whatever. And
that's not a very good guy motivation. Yeah. That kind of sucks. I'm glad he didn't do it. That's like evil as fuck, actually.
And then before that, apparently, it was just like Fiskerton, Komodo, and Zahn. Just them, like, fighting with, like, dealing with other cryptids and whatever. Maybe Argos was in it, I can't remember. But that also would have been very weird, like an animal only, like it was just like all animal buddies doing it. The show doesn't...
And they can't talk? That doesn't seem good. That seems like that would be bad.
Yeah, I think it's because Jay Stevens, who's the creator, he's done a lot of work on, like, preschool shows, and he also did Tutenstein, if you know that.
I know Tutenstein. Yeah, I know Tutenstein.
Discovery Kids. But yeah, and so this was like him kind of like being like, all right, we're kind of I'm actually, just in general, before we really get into it, the fact that the show exists at all in the way that it is kind of impressive. Like even with Ben 10 also existing on the side, I'm just surprised that a show this specific in its like focus and everything like that on Cartoon Network, even in 2008, like it's very strange that it existed. But yeah, so
it kind of sticks out when you look at it with its contemporaries at the time. Like I don't know. I think like the reason why like it maybe went under the radar for me was because of how much it stuck out.
Yeah,
like you know. I don't know. It's weird. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
We're talking about it, but like this show, it kind of reminds me of like everyone involved knew what they wanted to make, and like almost a Venture Brothers style type deal.
Oh, it's very
like,
Venture
everyone
Bros.
Knows what they like.
I mean, just in general, it's obviously they're both based on Johnny Quest, but
Johnny Quest and all that stuff. Yeah,
this is like Johnny Quest with swag, but also like visually, it looks a lot like Venture Bros. Like it has a very similar style.
Like we could easily I could have bought Doc and Drew working for OSI easily. Like just put them in there. It would have like made me like blink at all. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and especially like it has like that same kind of like thick outline style, more cartoony, a little bit Hanna-Barbera-y, but not 100% there. Like it's referential to that stuff, but not quite like exactly like that. Yeah, it's not like What's New Scooby-Doo, which is going for like an updated version of those Iwao Takamoto character designs. Whereas like, and then you get this, and then like, soon we're going to be doing Mystery Inc., and that is like, that's an updated version of those character designs, for sure. It's similar to this, where it's like referential to them, but it's not quite exactly like them.
I can really see why Omniverse wanted to do this because of like the vibe of the Omniverse team. I can see them going, what if we did a Secret Saturdays episode?
Yeah.
Like, I can actually see them like vibing out with that. But yeah, I guess we'll talk about like what it's actually about. Secret Saturdays is about a family, the Saturdays, as they look into cryptozoology and try to stop it from going out into the world while facing like old Elvira-style TV host VV Argos, who's this like weird white like literally white.
Yeah.
Dude, who talks like this?
Yeah, Corey Burton as VV Argost.
He's cooking.
Amazing. I mean, Corey Burton's already an amazing voice actor, but like his voice for Argost is so ridiculously entertaining. Yeah, he's like somewhat a mix between Elvira and the Crypt Keeper, like that kind of character.
Yeah, TV host.
And he like looks really fucked up. So, like, you know, I guess not to get into spoilers or anything, but some revelations about him come to light later on, and
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he has this bone white face and like little tiny fangs poking out from like a big lip, and like hair only coming from the back of his head.
Yeah.
So when they do like the reveal at the end of the show, you go, oh, okay, that's why you look super fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not normal.
But yeah, Corey Burton, like a lot of voices in his career, a lot of voices I can think of. Cad Bane, you know, he's like a lot of great voices. This might be in the top. Every scene where Argos is like, it's me with my Canadian bull viper or whatever fucking bullshit he pulls out his jacket to fight them with. I'm like, enraptured. Like he's like, these are Himalayan jumping squirrels. What are you going to do about it? And I'm like,
yeah, the fact that he's like the Beastmaster, as far as like he just collects a bunch of like rare animals or cryptids or whatever and like throws them at the heroes is pretty funny.
It kicks so much like it's such a rare, like usually people are like, oh, we have like cool powers and stuff. No, this man is just like a zoo books kid and he keeps pulling out weird bugs and horse and shit out of his sleeves.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And I will say that the there's like a pretty good consistency as far as like I didn't expect the show to be so story focused, like or continuity focused, especially in season 2, which was apparently like they ended season 1 on a cliffhanger, which I actually do remember. I didn't watch all of season 1, but I do remember like that the information from that cliffhanger like really sticking with me and being like, whoa, that's crazy. And season 2 like aired sometime later, and that was just 10 episodes. So like, yeah, the first one was just a normal 26 episode season, and then they had like 10 episodes. So they like really kind of condensed all the storytelling Netflix style into this like 10 episode season that was like one episode into the next sort of.
And it still didn't really feel bad at all, actually. Funny enough, like a lot of times it can feel bad when they do that, but it felt pretty good. But yeah, the continuity. Argos does have like favorites, and I think that's the coolest thing about him. He does have specific creatures that serve
the fucking those like centipedes he uses, like they become like extremely important by the end.
Like they show up in the first episode, like they can like absorb like human essence and like power, and like he's like, oh wait, he's like doing experiments with them. I'm like, fuck, that makes so much sense. If they could absorb human essence, it's really tight.
What was I gonna say? Well, just to be clear, I watched a fuck ton of the show. I watched like not all of it, but I think I only didn't watch like 10 episodes of the show. So.
Yeah, I watched like 26 episodes.
Yeah.
This shit was fucking great. Very like for Buffoons, I'll just real quick. If there's like 3 seasons, I'm watching 3 or so from each season if I remember the show. But like for this, I wanted to like watch more. Yeah. Like I might go back and rewatch episodes I missed.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
This show is so fucking good.
There was an episode with Zahn, who we'll talk about in a second. She's the dinosaur. There's a focus episode about her that I'm like, fuck, I skipped over that one in season 1. Season 2, I watched every episode of that, though. I just, like,
same.
Locked in and was like, whatever, 10 episodes, I can deal with that. Watched through it, and then, like, that was, like, the right choice. And I'd also happened to have watched the episodes, like, there was no like characters or anything in season 2 that I felt like I was like, what is up with this that I missed. Like I watched the episodes with the corresponding like characters and everything. So I don't know. So I guess we can talk a little bit about the characters because I actually do think that this is one of the cooler we talked about it a little, but I'm glad that this is one of the very few like Western cartoons at this time that has like a mixed race family.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's rare to see that, and like it's like very forward, like, and no one's a joke.
Yeah,
Like I think like Jake Long gets like a piece of that, but his dad's obviously like
That's
a
true.
white fuddy
Yeah.
duddy. These guys feel like a real family.
Yeah, Drew is cool as
and
hell.
it's crazy because
She's-
half of them are like lizards. Like
yeah, that is true. The you know, there's 3 normal people in the family, and then there's the 3 you know, like creatures.
creatures.
So
But yeah, I guess we should start with first up is I think we should just talk about Zach Saturday, who's our main character. Zach is so weird to me
yeah,
because he's like not what you assume he is. I feel like it's easy to come into the show and imagine we're getting a Ben 10 shithead.
yeah,
But no, he's not actually. He's like actually very chill and like kind of stressed. It's interesting, like compared to like a lot of the other kids this age heroes we get from shows like
yeah.
this.
He does have some elements of like, you know, if the plot calls for it, I'm irresponsible. Like early on in season 1, I feel like as soon as like Doyle shows up and becomes part of the team, which is like pretty early, surprisingly, which is why I was
8?
really glad that season 2 basically was all like Doyle and Van Rook hanging out with each other, because I was like, oh, I liked their dynamic before. It's sad to see them split up so soon. You know, for him to become a good guy. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
But yeah,
But yeah, Zach, I think like he has just enough of that like coming of age-ness to him that you feel somewhere in between
Kids
like
can
Ben
latch on.
10 from the original series and Alien Force. And I think there was like some, not in the creative side of things, but on the like network side of things, there was some attempt at like parody between Ben 10 and this and Generator Rex later.
yeah, definitely.
So, fuck.
Zach has like the power of being able to control cryptids. He doesn't really know how it works. But like that's like his whole deal. And we'll talk about them later. Zach has 3 siblings. None of them are human, and none of them speak. We are going to talk about it. But the fact that like of all the characters, he treats them the most like, dude, this is just my brother. What are you talking about? It's the funniest thing. Like him just like, yeah, what's up? Like, oh shit, is that a pet Komodo dragon? That's not a pet. That's my brother.
Yeah.
What are you saying? It's
love
always
that.
so funny when he like talks to them and like shoots the shit. And I'm like, what a weird, like he's going to be so weird if he goes to college. Because like,
Yeah.
yeah, my sister loves to eat bugs. Your sister? Yeah, she's a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Loves to eat eggs from other, you know, predatory birds.
Also, one last thing before we move, Kathy brought up that he is literally black and white.
Yeah.
Like his mom is white, his dad is black, but his hair is also literally black and white, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I like had. I was go ahead.
I was just going to say he has a very, like, you know, he has an action cartoon hero kind of character design, which is, you know, maybe like a little over the top and like it's impossible for somebody to have that hairstyle, but you know, it's still like, yeah, I mean, he looks cool. The art style in general of the show looks very cool. Like we talked about.
It looks super. This is the most like these guys should be comic books tomorrow characters I've ever seen. Also, he's voiced by Sam Lanier, who like doesn't have a lot of credits, but is like the chubby kid from Monster House, which is crazy.
Yeah. Monster House. That's such a fucking. Did you ever see that when it was aired on Cartoon Network?
Yes, dude. Yeah, that's a fucking fucked up.
Yeah,
movie
the fact that it's like Dan Harmon and Rob Schraub made it. Like learning that later in my life, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know that the like community the people made
this fucking movie. It does have a good joke of like, oh my god, I murdered Mr. Nimblecracker, and then Chowder goes, that's like manslaughter at worst.
Right.
And they don't send kids to jail for manslaughter. And I'm like, fuck, that's a really good joke from Mouse. But yeah, he was in that, and he does have like a lot of other credits. Like he voiced Zack Saturday in like some of the games, and he's like in the Troll Show a little bit. But that seems like the it of his career, which is kind of a bummer because I think his voice is really good here.
Yeah. Next, we got Doc, the dad.
Doc Saturday is so cool.
He's voiced by Phil Morris, who's also somebody who isn't in a ton of stuff.
He's more of a like live action actor than anything.
Like he's not in a lot of cartoons. I guess I should say. But so it feels like like a really good him and Drew, which we'll talk about in a second. Like they just feel like good picks where it's like, oh, we want this actor, we want this kind of like voice and delivery, etc. Less so than it feels like this is like they're starting to cast people for their voice rather than let's just get Tara Strong because Tara Strong can do a bunch of voices,
Very much so, yeah.
So it's like we're getting close to that like Adventure Time or Regular Show or Steven Universe or whatever, like that era where like one person does one voice and like performs that voice really well over, the old style of like, here's Tom Kenny, like, holy fuck. And this still does have
doing 90 people.
Yeah, this still does have that with like Corey Burton and everything. But like even Jeff Bennett, but like, yeah, I think it's like good. I think like while I do love career voice actors a lot, right? I think there is a level of having one guy voice 90% of the characters that is like kind of lame. Even if it's someone like Jeff Bennett who has like a billion voices or whatever, there's something that like really brings characters to life if your main cast all have different voices. You know? The one thing that I mentioned that I learned to you a couple days ago was that Doc, his design was based on Harry Belafonte, which is like really cool.
Which is the coolest fucking thing on earth because like the thing is though, I literally see it with like the very triangle like hairline going on and like just the vibe he has. I don't know. There's something neat about having like the dad in the show be a black man who's like a doctor and like smart and has a cool scar and like he's also like the more sensitive parent too. He's the one that's always like, hey, should we be careful about this and yada yada yada. It's very cute. I also like that he throws fucking hands. There's scenes where he like boxes a hydra and I'm like, this is the coolest motherfucker on earth. Like he's just punching a giant lizard's face while also spewing science shit and I'm like, God, this show kind of rules.
I feel
like, top 10 cartoon dads, honestly.
I feel like this is this era of cartoons, maybe we're sort of getting out of it, but like where parents are still lame. Even in Ben 10, like Ben's actual parents suck, but then his they get like one good episode or whatever in Alien Force, but like they're just like normal parents. His grandpa is cool, but that's supposed to be like a funny kind of like a weird or quirky thing. It's very rare to have like a cool or engaged parents. This is a couple years after stuff like the Nickelodeon shows like Fairly Odd Parents or Jimmy Neutron, where like the parents are just stupid as fuck, or even Billy and Mandy on this network here. So it's cool to have it not only like not only the parents are cool, they're like they give a lot of leeway to Zach, where sometimes they'll crack down and that will cause conflict in the episode, but a lot of times they kind of understand his capabilities.
Like they know how serious the situation is, and that's rare for like TV parents and shows.
Yeah, they're written with some sort of like understanding that not only of like a character like in the show understanding, like we need to bring him along because like we don't want to coddle him or whatever, but also a meta understanding of it would be boring as fuck if every single episode had the same conflict of parents being like, no, stay home, it's too dangerous.
And there are shows that do that. There are shows that do. Literally, Jackie Chan Adventures had that be the thing for like 2 seasons, and it was ass. Like, just let Jade go. Like, it's really good. I will also say, performance-wise, Phil Morris is giving all-star performance. He's so good. He sounds like a dad,
Yeah.
and I don't even know what the fuck I mean by that, but he sounds like a dad, and like. I know him from like he's in Smallville and he's also in some Trek shows. He's also in I think Girlfriends, which is like a very Blackpool for me to like reference.
Yeah.
But he's also in that, and like it's so nice to like hear a voice that I recognize, and he's just doing like a cool black dad with just like I know we talked about before a sick design.
Yeah.
Doc Saturday looks so fucking cool.
He's so cool, and like it's such a like cool like it could be over designed, but. I don't know, like I think that his character kind of like brings it in. His like you said, his performance, the fact that he can go from being very like stern and serious, you know, and like exacting, calculating kind of scientist guy, to like a more lighthearted, almost like whiny or whatever, like when he's dealing with his wife, you know, like in the sense of, not like
or his
I hate my wife, but
or
like if she says something like, "Oh, you're being lame" or whatever, he's like, "Oh, I'm not lame." You know, he has like that attitude.
It's so cute. They do even though it's not a focus, they really sell you on their marriage sometimes. Yeah. Where like you can tell like she asked him on a date first. That's the vibe they give off really strongly. It's great. And I think actually the dichotomy between like his scar and his ghost eye compared to how he actually acts is great. Yeah. It's fantastic. Speaking of which, let's go to Drew. Drew Saturday is the mom. Now, while Doc is like a scientist, Drew was raised by monks. It has a flaming magical sword.
Yeah, she was like in the Himalayas, raised by monks. She like in flame sword, very fucking cool. She's one of the only characters that I really knew about, as we joked about that she was the hot mom. Nicole Sullivan, that's her voice. I didn't expect it to be this critical mass of teen Wyatt horniness, because like Shigo from Kim Possible is also
also Joan of Arc from fucking Clone. Listen, look, Nicole Sullivan, I know you're probably married to a man. If it don't work, let me know. Sleeper hit, great voice actor. Like she's fun in like a bunch of stuff, but like her ability like to voice characters like in shows and like have different things she brings to the table for them fucking rules.
Yeah, she works so well as a mom. Like she's just so good.
She does.
As this character. Like she just is like, her voice just fits perfect. And like you said, like her in that like wife position and, you know, teasing and playing around with Doc.
Her husband,
is just like so well acted and everything. And yeah, she brings like such a level of like casualness to the proceedings. It makes it feel like, oh, it's natural that somebody like Zach can sometimes like underestimate a situation, not take it seriously, whatever, because that's like his mom coming through.
Yeah, that's her person. I also love that she is so quick to like take the easy route and like figuring out what's going on in a way her husband isn't. Like her husband's like, oh, we gotta investigate. It's probably magic. He's like, you just assume it's magic? Yeah. I do just assume it's magic. She's really funny. Also, her sword rules. She's also quick to kill a motherfucker. Yeah. There's many scenes where like, oh, my son's in danger. Hold on. Yeah. And her first instinct is to maybe put that motherfucker down, and it rules.
Yeah. That's like one of those. So that's, I don't know. It's weird. The element of them being a family and like that, you know, Zach being in mortal danger and then like the mom getting into action or whatever, the dad, you know, as well. I don't think like that didn't really click with me as a kid, because I think I didn't watch too much of the show. So, you know, take that for what it is. But as a kid, I was more obviously connecting with Zach. Then I was like, oh, he has like the cool powers. The parents, they just have like weapons or whatever. But now as an adult, I'm watching it and I'm like, man, the whole dynamic of the whole family is so good. And like, yeah, you need sort of like, all right, Zach, like he has an upper hand because of his powers, but he's still like, you know, he can get in over his head or whatever. And sometimes Drew needs to be the mama bear and come in and save him or whatever. And I think, like, yeah, we talked about before, we can kind of talk about the other the other three members of the family now, which are Fiskerton, Komodo, and Zahn.
I do want to make this clear. Fiskerton is a giant cat gorilla guy. Komodo is a Komodo dragon, and Zahn is a dinosaur. And you might go, how are they family members? It's not a pet thing because they are like of human level intelligence, right? These guys are smart. It's like the Saturdays when it'd be weird to have them as pets.
Yeah.
Let's adopt them as our kids. And I think that's like a fair choice to make on their part.
It's funny because Zahn is only like in the second episode or whatever. You know, it's in the pilot that she becomes part of the team.
Joins the family.
And she is more or less just a dinosaur. So it's just like... So as far as the human level intelligence thing, definitely from Fiskerton and Komodo. But like, I'm not entirely sure for her. I think it's... right? So it's just like...
No, come on, why? She does some deductive reasoning that I think is fair to say that she has like a dumb person.
Yeah,
level of intelligence.
I like all great designs. They all have such personality too, which I didn't really expect to
from like non-talking, like just making noise characters, but you know what they would behave like.
Yeah,
and that's like a crazy good piece of writing.
I would say like as far as it goes, like. Just off the rip, it is almost like, Fiskerton, he's kind of like the Scooby-Doo. Komodo, he's like a cat basically. He's like Garfield or something. And then
he's a little grumpy. He wants to eat.
Yeah, he's low to the ground. He's like, not as easily shows emotions, but he does have them deep down inside. And then like I would say Zahn is more like an actual dog, where it's like where she's just like happy to be there, a little bit clueless, but is mostly like,
she's like a Dee Dee from Dexter.
Yeah, as long as you're giving me scratches, I'm all good. Like I love that. I would love to have like a giant pterodactyl hanging around with me. I'm preening its feathers.
I do. There's some scenes where Zahn is like, I say Zahn is smart because like someone will get thrown off a cliff. I go, oh my god, and they're not panicking because Zahn just like grabs somebody and pulls them back up. It's really like Komodo is constantly getting owned in combat sometimes, and Zahn is always like, well, I'm gonna save him. Here you go. It's so weird that we know the relationship between these things. Like this is like this is crazy writing.
Yeah,
and like characterization. For characters who can't talk.
Fiskerton is voiced by Dietrich Bader, and he actually does. There's a lot of times where like what he's saying, which is good. Like I love it's like Schnitzel or something from Chowder, where like that's just like well done vocal performance. Where the
like
yeah,
Zach's like shut up. I know what you want to do.
Yeah,
it's really good.
There's like a lot of times, especially later on when like he'll just say like. Say what or whatever. Like he'll just like basically voice exactly like what needs to be voiced like at that moment.
Yeah.
Also like he's you could kind of expect this because he's the most active and iconic of them. But he's like weirdly lore important into the show.
He's so weirdly lore important. It was when that came out, I was like, this is a great show. I was like, this is so because like even though Zahn and Komodo are weird, they are just like a Komodo dragon who could turn invisible and a dinosaur that's alive for some reason. But Fiskerton is the most creature and he's like, no, this is important. Also, I know we talked about it earlier. Zach and Fisk having like legit a brother relationship is so good. Yeah. Like there's so many scenes where Zach's like, I want to do this, and Fisk is like, like don't be a coward. Come on, bro, we got to do this. This show is so wild because like it has like a lot of weird ideas, right? But once you're 2 episodes in, you're bought in. Like you're just in on all the ideas. Like you feel like you've been brought into the secret world they're living in, and none of this is strange anymore. Man, fuck, this is a good show.
We should also talk about like some of the side characters, like Doyle, of course. He's like
we should
just a fantastic character in general. I'm sure you're gonna bring this up, but extremely hot.
I want Doyle. Yeah. So bad, guys. He is not only is voiced by Will Friedle during his like Cherry McGinnis Batman Beyond voice. this is, and I don't say this lightly, that's a woman. I know a woman when I see a woman. I'm not gonna let the liberal lies of this show tell me, oh, that's her big brother. No, that's her her younger sister.
Yeah.
I know what Doyle has going on. Doyle has like this fucking like this undercut mohawk from All Lesbians in 2009.
Right.
Like, I know the truth. You can't hide it from me. Has only earrings on one ear, the gay ear, by the way. I know what's going on. You can't fool me.
They really did like that's the thing. Like I said, some of the designs in the show could feel a little bit over-designed, given to a different crew, but I feel like it all works here. Doyle just looks so cool. Like,
he looks so cool.
Like, yeah, and
the jetpack too.
And he just is cool. Like, he just is cool as fuck. Like, every episode that deals with, like, the episode where they're like in a town, like an abandoned town, and like the lake is alive or whatever. It's just him and Zach fighting for their lives, and because the premise of the episode is like he's trying to teach Zach about deception and, you know, like getting one over on your opponent. They're constantly like at crossed odds with each other. Like, they don't know, neither of them know which one is speaking the truth at any given point. It's a very entertaining episode, but it's also just like so good because Doyle is there. And then in like season 2, like Doyle is off on his own, you know, which is like, okay, it's sad that he isn't with the team and everything, but it's like cool to see him on his own and kind of taking charge. It's fun to see him with Zahn for like the whole season, and then also like with his old mentor, who's like this piece of shit like Greek guy. So...
we'll get to him in a second. But yeah, one of the episodes opens up and goes, "Oh, we're gonna need help from someone that knows deception," and Doc goes, "No, don't say it." And we cut to Doyle, and he's fighting robotic scorpion Nazis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's the coolest dude. Yeah. Like, he's throwing bombs at robotic scorpion Nazis. And I'm like, this is the coolest motherfucker to ever live.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get over, like, one, that Cartoon Network let these guys wear obvious Nazi uniforms and have scorpion body parts. And then just, like, he's kicking the shit out of them. Like, is this what he does in his spare time?
Yeah.
They crafted a character to be the coolest thing ever, and it worked. It could very easily suck and not. And I think it's because he is like a fuddy-duddy when he needs to be.
Yeah,
like it's a perfect balance. Do we want to talk about Argos first, or the others, or we should probably talk about Argos.
Yeah. We can talk about some of the other characters in a second, but Argos, he's very important.
VV Argos is like we talked about a little bit at the top of the show, but I just don't think I've enjoyed a villain in a show this much. In a cartoon, mind you, in a while. Like, I think there's some Ben 10 villains that are fun. Like, I think the Hybrid are interesting as a concept, right?
Yeah.
But like in like I could watch him chew scenery kind of way, it's been a long time since I've enjoyed a villain the way I enjoy VV.
Oh yeah, this is like possibly one of the best villains to come from a Cartoon Network show. Like, I can't even think it's hard for me to even think of an example that would contradict this. You know, like maybe somebody in Generator Rex, which I haven't gotten to or whatever, but.
Or like maybe like one of the like DC shows, but
yeah,
even then,
that's true.
It's still close.
I was gonna say like after this, you know, maybe like Green Lantern or whatever. But like, yeah, I can't even like. He's just so cool. He's so entertaining. He's such a fucking freak. He's got his like butler who turns out to be like a fucked up Munya, who turns out to be a fucked up spider guy.
Spider guy. It's the reveal like Munya, please transform, and he turns and like it's so good. Also, VV Argos, we talked about it earlier, but he's also a fighting villain, which is what I love. Yeah. He's always busting his ass to get out there. He's not like sending minions all the time. He wants the W and he's willing to work for the W. And it's one of my favorite things when villains do that. Like, there's a scene where all of them are shooting him and everyone says pour on the gas. Like, Doyle's throwing bombs at him. He's getting shot with the fire sword. He has like his cloak up. He goes, this is Screamer Welve blubber. Yeah. You'll never get through this. And I'm like, fuck, he's so funny.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's one of those villains who, like, he's not in every single episode, but like he is a constant presence, you know, throughout the show. And especially like in season 2, he takes a more like he takes an interesting role during season 2.
Yes.
And I don't know, he's just like a very, very entertaining guy. The fact that he's like the host of a TV show and that Zach is like a big fan of, and like his parents are always like, don't watch it. That guy's fucking crazy. Like that guy is like,
he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's trying to destroy the world. Excuse me. I guess like we haven't talked too much about like what the literal plot of the show is, but like, there is like an entity called Kerr, which is a Sumerian like demon or whatever, that he is trying to get access to because it has the ability to control cryptids. And the parents believe that Zach, because he was born or was being born at the same time that they uncovered the like stone of Kerr.
Yeah, she was pregnant.
That
she had him
that he has like abilities that counter his. So
it's a very much a race around the world type. Of, he's trying to figure out how to unlock Kerr, and they're trying to figure out how to stop him.
And that's something that I want to talk about because I first of all love Sumerian shit. Always down with that. And just in general, this show has a lot of that like pseudo-archeology, like what if Atlantis was real? What if the fucking Lemurians were real? Etc. Like when they name dropped Kumari Kandam, I was like, whoa, that's one that nobody ever talks about. Like I just love all that shit, and it does it in a way that like a lot of these things unfortunately are extremely racist. All of the like ancient aliens and like Anunnaki and stuff like that are just like, what if white people actually created all of the things that brown people made?
But there's some like racial issues in the show, but also they never do the whole actually aliens did this. Actually the cryptids did this. Like the people are still always attached to it, which is weird and interesting. And
I'll say like with with this, like they actually are in like Iraq at the beginning of the show or whatever when they're uncovering the stone of Kerr. So it's like, I don't know. There's some elements where I thought it could be like a little bit dicey or racist in like 2008 America, like any of the stuff involving the Middle East. Basically, I was like, oh, is this going to be bad? But like it was like handled pretty well. Like the character of Wadi, who shows up, is like probably the only or the first time I had ever seen at that point like a hijabi girl in a cartoon.
Yeah, and the fact that she's like Zach's friend and also pseudo love interest is so neat for me. Look, this is the future liberals want, specifically me as a black liberal from a Muslim family. What do you mean to tell me that our main character is a biracial boy? He has a crush on a cute, plucky Muslim girl. What are you saying to me? Like, but it rules. Like it's.
But I just liked the episode that she was introduced with the first of all Methuselah tree, a nice Old Testament reference, but. The family that they like, the people that they go to, like the society of people that they go to, it could have easily been like seen as like if this was in like Iron Man, which came out the same year, which is very like fucking xenophobic towards like people in the Middle East, like guys with like headscarves and guns or whatever would be seen as like, oh, these guys are dangerous threats, like these are scary, but Drew just shows up and is like, hey, what's up, man? Like, like, oh yeah, to Wadi's father, who is like the leader of like that research group.
Also, how like multicultural all the scientists are is another really cool thing. Like, I do love that like there's like an Inuit scientist that like they go to for information.
Voiced by Jack Spicer from Shaolin Showdown. I recognize that voice. So.
The only like pseudo aliens we meet are the white people. Like Agent Epsilon is the only,
that's true.
This guy might be an alien and not actually be from Earth. It's him, and it's really funny. Like,
very good stuff with that. Like, I don't know, they handle like a lot of I like by the end that Zach kind of has like a bunch of like either like friends or rivals like around the same age as him. And, there's even, like, a really cute, like, birthday episode, like, before the finale where it's, like, him and Ulraj, who is one of the, like, fish people, and Wadi, like, doing an adventure together. And Ulraj is like, oh, no, I'm not into her. I just want to win. I just want to fuck with you, Zach. Like, that's why I'm hitting on her.
Dude, I just want to ruin your fucking birthday.
Yeah.
That's all I'm worried about.
Like, that's really good. So
I do. There's like a I don't know if it happened, but like, this is the most action figure show I've ever seen.
yeah.
Without like it being a toy commercial. Like I wanted to use a segue to get into the villains.
Yeah.
Literally every side villain that Argos will hire so often is a toy. And I mean that in like the most positive way. Like we talked about him a little bit, but Doyle's former boss, Van Rook, is an action figure when we first meet him.
Oh yeah.
He's also, listen, my favorite trope for stuff is a villain who's not evil but just as a mercenary. I love it to death.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you end up hiring him to be on the good guy side, and that literally happens, and it's so good. Like Van Rook, like his accent, he's just this Greek guy that wears Iron Man style power armor for almost the entire show.
Yeah.
You don't see his face until he goes broke and he can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
And like he's just like, yes, there's a good line where he's so money hungry that fucking Doyle's throwing bombs and he throws 3 and Van Rook goes, 2 was enough.
Yeah.
2 is plenty. Like, you didn't have to use 3 bombs. It's a really good bit.
Yeah. Like their banter back and forth during season 2 is really good. And like you said, he's so like funny. An evil Iron Man, which is like yeah, he's just like interested in like whatever, like getting like whatever, whoever pays me enough, I'll do whatever. I'll sell out my morals. I don't give a shit. Which is like, that's great because it so naturally leads into like, you know, a heel turn later on, or heel face turn, whatever the fuck.
Face turn.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like it just works so perfectly, and you get so endeared to him, like as a character, and then also like Doyle's ex-girlfriend, who is also like you know, in the same like mercenary class and everything.
Yeah, Abby. Yeah, it's also neat because you get it later on that Van Rook does care about Doyle, which is funny. It can be insinuated because Doyle's like orphaned, that Van Rook probably did a good bit of raising with him.
Yeah.
So, like, it's nice that he's like, I only care about money. But, like, no, he also cares about Doyle. Like, there's also a bit of that there. And I think it's a very neat and fun dynamic to play with. I do think also all the secret scientists are neat. I think all the different, like, the robotics expert and, like, the meteorology expert. I think that's a really fun niche to give these guys.
I love that they begin, like, in the bulk of the show, they are, like, oh, they're just allies, whatever. And then they become antagonists in season 2 due to plot elements that happen by the end of season 1. So yeah, I actually don't want to spoil the story of this show because
I want you guys to watch this show. Like, it's really good. I think you guys should watch it. I don't want to spoil the plots and stuff because but it's neat to see a group of scientists who are like, we do stuff for the greater good, become morally corrupt for the greater good is such a good pull, I think. Yeah. Like, watching them go from, like, we want to do the greater good to, like, well, the greater good might include doing a awful, horrible thing. Well, we'll do that. It's very much Marvel Comics. Like, it reminds me of the Illuminati from Marvel Comics where, like, Mr. Fantastic is quick to go, well, in order for the greater good, we sometimes have to do evil things. Yeah. And I love the Saturdays being like, no, fuck you guys. That's not cool. It's because by the end of the show, it's like the Saturdays versus our guys, but also the Saturdays versus the secret scientists. And the scientists are also trying to stop our guys. It's like this 3-way thing. And because of that, they're calling in Zach's friends and like hiring Van Rook. And like what like sides anyone's on becomes really gray. And it's 10 episodes, but they're fucking crazy at 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's really well done. Like I said, even like we mentioned Epsilon before, but like, you know, there's like a good episode where Zach finally is able to like relate to and connect with Francis, who is like the kid of the weird fucking Men in Black kind of like white guys. And then, you know, so like that's cool. The show feels very complete. Like by the end, it doesn't. Yeah. It feels like there's nowhere left to go really after the end, and you feel like they explored all the characters very well. Obviously, it isn't like such a bow is tied on it that it's like, and everybody like Zach is married and has a kid or whatever, you know, I hate those kind of endings. The ones that like, I'm not saying the show is bad if they do a time skip or whatever. Okay, KO does it really well because the whole final episode is about that. But I just prefer kind of like an open, like the story is resolved, you know, that this immediate conflict is resolved or whatever. So they do that very well.
I think it's weird that this isn't a Man of Action thing.
No, yeah, especially because, like I said, it was going to have some connection with Ben 10. Like it was being developed alongside it, like, or at least alongside Alien Force, to be sort of like part of like a shared universe of these kind of shows.
And they still like do it like years down the line, but it's weird it's not like Man of Action, because like it even takes the Man of Action like style to it, because like there's a lot of comic book writers, like a lot of the people who like storyboard or direct episodes go on to work on like later DC projects. I don't know. I think there's like, and I hate to talk about money. I literally, everyone who knows me knows I hate talking about money. There's money on the table to just do a small comic universe that's Generator Rex, this, and Ben 10 that I think would do pretty fucking good in this modern day.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it would give fucking Cartoon Network something to do, for one. That would be nice.
Yeah. Like, even if it's just like publishing books, it'd be fucking something.
Yeah.
Like, I also think you could tell that like there's like Rich Hoberg, who like worked on like Amazing Spider-Man in the 80s and shit. Like he worked on season 2. Like the season 2 was like filled to the brim with people who worked on comic, like the people that worked on New Mutants and like other stuff, and you can feel it. Like it's like sometimes comic book runs get a call of like, hey guys, we're wrapping this up. And these guys will come in and write some of the best television like some of the best issues you've ever read. And that's what the last season of the show feels like. It feels like everyone going, okay, what can we satisfyingly close out on? Whose arcs can we go? We know how much time we have left. Let's make it work.
Yeah, it feels.
I don't know.
It feels. Yeah, it like. I didn't feel like unsatisfied at all by the ending. Like I felt like I
felt great.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this is like, because that was something I complained about with Ben 10, where both the like season 2 ending with the hybrid, I was like, oh, this is really cool, but it feels like it wrapped up a little bit too quickly. And then season 3 was like, this wasn't an ending at all. Like they just beat the bad guy, or like, well, maybe he'll come back next time. Whereas like this is like, I guess some spoilers, but like Argos is fucking super dead. He's not coming back. So that's like, there's no more VV Argos, so it feels very conclusive in that way. And it's not like, oh, maybe he died off screen, because like season 2 is kind of like, oh, is he alive? Is he dead or whatever? It's revealed eventually that he is still alive, and then. But this is like, there's no way he survived.
Yo, he blows the fuck up. I know we don't say no, and not like the building explodes. No, just him.
Yeah.
We see just him blow the fuck up. So like it's also kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like for Zach to go, you're gonna learn a lesson today, Argos, and then Argos like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And just blows up. It's crazy.
Do you have
like it's also hilarious.
Oh, excuse me. Do you have a favorite cryptid or like plot point or something that like showed up?
It's so hard. They cover so many things I like a lot. As far as monsters, I can't get too into it, but I am really into all, like, we get a lot of like lesser known ones, but I do like the Naga and also the Yeti.
Yeah,
they're both spoilers, but the Yeti episode is the Yeti episodes are really good, and they play with like a lot of fun stuff. And also the Nagas are terrifying. Yeah, they're just scary to look at. I will say, as far as designs go, I think like, even though I love VV Argos a lot, I think he looks really cool. Munya is like cute. I know he's like supposed to be like a shriveled up Frankenstein man who turns into a spider. I think he's adorable. I think he's a very cute little man, and I'm like, oh, look at him, I want to give him a kiss on the cheek. He's my friend.
Yeah, I like I agree with you about the Yeti thing, especially. And I would say for me, like early on, there was an episode where it was in Japan. what's his name, Dr. Mizuki, who puts his mind into like this big like gorilla creature. I was expecting it to be like a full on like, oh, we're just doing it's kaijus, like Godzilla is real or whatever. But he's like just kind of a normal big ape thing, like not quite kaiju sized or whatever. And I appreciate that level of restraint. I wouldn't have been too upset if they did do like a kaiju thing, but obviously it would be like, kind of an easy, low-hanging fruit thing to do. And
yeah, and like the Hibagan is like a real like Japanese version of like Bigfoot and stuff. So like it's neat.
Yeah,
it's really
exactly. Neat. So they took from reality. Like a lot of these I'm like, oh yeah, I know this from like I know that this is a real thing, a lot of the times, like, like bunyips show up at one point. The like I said, Kumari Kondom, like that's like an ancient civilization that fell beneath the water, that was between like India and Sri Lanka and like Madagascar. Like it has like it's supposed to be like, look, that's how those like cultures are connected. When in reality, it's just that they got on boats and like hung out with each other, like thousands of years ago. Like that's always the excuse. Like the people that are like, oh, there was a lost continent in the Pacific Ocean called Mu. That's why all these Polynesian cultures are very similar. It's like, no, it's just that they're like ancestors of each other, or they hung out. They just got on boats and like sailed around. It was like, oh fuck, there's more guys over here. Like. I don't know. The ancient humans are a lot more curious and a lot more like adventurous than we like to give them credit for.
Then we give them credit, yeah.
Yeah. So like.
Also, speaking of which, about the Doctor, he is voiced by Jerry Tondo, who is what is his name? Poe from Mulan.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
But all right. Is that all? Is there anything else that?
I don't know. This show's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally going to be banging the pots on this for a while. I was not prepared for how... Like, I know we were both like, oh, this is going to be a fun one, right? Mm-hmm. But I wasn't prepared for how much I was going to like the show. Like, I don't think I really, like, grasped how much I was going to enjoy this. Mm-hmm. Like, the DVDs are, like, $10 on Amazon, I found out. I might just pick them up to own. Like...
Yeah, just to, like, have the show. And I should also mention that, like... I actually did the like soy jack pointing at the screen whenever they name dropped the Epic of Gilgamesh, and like the flute of Gilgamesh was like a big plot
big
plot point. I was like, oh, because I was like, it's weird that they haven't brought up the Epic of Gilgamesh, because this is like there's a lot of Sumerian mythology and everything, and they've spent a lot of time like in Iraq, so it's like. I don't know. It's weird that they haven't brought that up, and then like it ends up becoming like a big thing, and that's like this is one of those elements where I'm like willing to give it a pass as far as the like ancient alien stuff goes, because they don't go in, they don't have like literally the Anunnaki, even like when the Lemurians show up, when that becomes like a plot point, it's not necessarily that they're like, oh, they're creatures from beyond the stars that came to blah blah blah, and the Sumerian culture is one of the oldest cultures that we know of, so it's fine, in my opinion, for the show to be like, okay, this one had a lot of connections with all these seemingly unrelated cultures around the world. Like the Vikings or whatever, like, because it's so old, not necessarily because they were, like, super advanced and they civilized all of these other places, but just because they, again, it, like, happened so long ago that, like, humanity was less spread out,
I will also say, like, the fact that like, they go out of their way to go, like, Fisk is from, like, this old thing, but, like, also, let's not forget, they were, like, working with humans and stuff. Like, they do have a level of, like, there is a connection to the people of those places. Like, listen, the show's not perfect about it everywhere, but, like, there's definitely an attempt being made, which is a rare thing.
Yeah, that's actually super fucking rare, especially, like, cryptozoology, that kind of, like, pseudo-science stuff. It's always just, like... whatever, what do the fucking, native people know, etc., until it conveniently is like, oh, this actually supports my viewpoint, so I'm gonna like.
Yeah, like most shows would have gone like, actually, aliens did all this. None of the people from these places know anything about this. They're all dumb.
Yeah.
Like, but like they didn't do that. Like, the fact that like so many of the people from these cultures are helping them fight Argos really sells me on like them going, okay, no, these people are aware of like the stuff they have going on.
Multiculturalism.
And I think that's like neat.
Yeah, I just like that. I just love that in any show that tackles these kind of topics. Is like treating all of these cultures like, as equally beautiful or valid or anything.
And everyone's like equally like exploring and like smart and scientists and like know about this stuff. Like, it's so neat. Literally at the end of the show, it's like seeing like his friends show up and like seeing Wadi like show up with her dad and like using their knowledge of cryptids and stuff to fight the bad guys. It rules. It kicks ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. This show rules. Watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check it out. Again, and it's not like on streaming or anything, but if you can find it by alternate means, then like absolutely
do it.
Seek it out, especially if you're a fan of,
or buy it.
Yeah, or buy it.
I mean,
yeah,
like literally finding out that like it's like $10. I'm really tempted to just get these DVDs. Like, no, $7 actually.
Yeah.
Really tempted to just get these fucking DVDs.
Yeah,
like, and just call it a day.
It's absolutely worth it. It's like, yeah, absolutely like a huge hidden gem of a show. Out of everything
also, if you're an artist, we didn't talk about a lot. The shape language in the show, the way they use shapes to like get across ideas and like drawing these characters, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy how good everyone is in the show design.
Yeah, art is just really gorgeous. There's some jank shots where there's like CG backgrounds or whatever, or CG ships or anything like that. For the most part, like the characters, the animation, expressions, everything like it just feels super on point. Feels very unique compared to something like Alien Force, which is kind of generic looking. Still like that show a lot, but yeah, it's just fun to go from that, which does have like a lot of positives. There's a lot of things that I liked about that, but going to this and it's just like, man, this just like hit the spot so hard as far as like what I would want from it. And then, like, again, it feels like complete. It doesn't feel like, I'm not even like, oh man, if they had like a season 3 or anything, like, no, this is the perfect amount of episodes, to tell this story. So highly recommend. All right.
Highly, yeah.
Where can we find you, Morgan, on this wide internet?
Cool. You guys can find me at Girl Next Door on Tumblr. I post about vampire, mostly Vampire the Masquerade. That game's coming out, so Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming out, so I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna be like Wyatt with metal, but evil and angry, because I think the game sucks. Yeah. You can also find me on Blue Sky, Girl Next Door. I post about just stuff that comes to my mind, wrestling, cartoons, my art, all that stuff. You gotta get on it quick, because I did hear Vivi Argaz has dug up Kerr, got inside of his body, and is connected to him with worms in order to control him to destroy Blue Sky. So get on that quickly. Yeah. Wyatt, where can we find you?
It's coming. Well, go on over to Twitter and Blue Sky, Wazbranger, WAZP Ranger. It's mostly stream of consciousness stuff, but I do post about videos I'm making and podcasts I'm doing. So if you want to check out videos, it's on It's Only Magic, which probably is where you're listening to this right now. If you want to support me on Patreon, it's also It's Only Magic. For $3, you get next week's episode, which will be Batman, the Brave and the Bold, a week early. You can get it right now for $3. But if you only have $1, that's fine. You still get Wow Cool Robot, which is me and my friend Wayne, going through every single robot in existence and reviewing them. 5 to 10 minute episodes. It's a good time. Other shit that I'm in, I do a weekly thing with my friend Buster, Toku Talkers, where we talk about all of the like TV tokusatsu. So Kamen Rider, Sentai, Ultraman. Ultraman, not great this year. Sentai, pretty good. Kamen Rider just started, so we don't know yet.
Yeah,
but it's
and weird as shit, dude. This season of Kamen Rider, it's kind of awesome.
So it's interesting to see where that goes. And then, of course, Horror Hole, which Morgan will be on soon.
Yay!
Talking about Nosferatu. So, we're talking about the 20s Nosferatu and then the Robert Eggers one, which I'm shocked I've not seen a movie by him. Just because, like, it seems like all of that would be up my alley. But anyway, join us next time as we talk about Batman, Brave and the Bold. See you there.
Goodbye.